Some commentators say Canada is only a product of worldwide inflation. Others disagree. Please stick with us. Dan McTeague is going to be explaining all about that. But first, please subscribe, ask your friends to, and to keep us on the air because we don't have Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's subsidies, please ask to donate and PayPal. So, Dan McTeague, the question to you, are we just part of a global phenomenon, or is our debt and everything else making Canada really the poor child of the world?
Well, I know there are many people who like to say, let's look at the rest of the world, and we are part of that rest of that world. But this is a country that went into debt well before the COVID pandemic. This is a country that began to spend.
Done in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what he said. 3 years and that's over.
It seems we make these projections as to where we're going to go in terms of the state's finances, the national finances, but we get those predictions predictably wrong. And the difficulty with that is that sooner or later another government's going to wind up having to pay for this, if not this government itself, in terms of the form of high interest rates, in terms of debt that is out of control. How are you going to fund 50 billion plus in deficits? That's accumulated to the debt. How is that going to drop interest rates? And how is that going to somehow incentivize people to say, I want to invest in Canada, or my money in Canada is safe?
But to listen to our Deputy Prime Minister, our Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, she says everything is fine. She said, we are managing our debt. We are paying that exorbitant interest. And the economy is going gangbusters and everybody is happy in Canada. Yeah. That's what she's saying. You've been in government. You've heard that kind of stuff sometimes before. Is this worse than ever?
We would call that politely turd polishing. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, you have a bad situation here in this country, and if people want to think it's great, the smell is wonderful, that's up to them. But I think for a lot of Canadians, looking at $500,000 mortgages or $800,000 mortgages, having had a government that printed a lot of money, that engaged in unprecedented levels of debt and increasing the money supply. And I'm not just saying them, the Bank of Canada was a co-partner in all this too, while at the same time saying, in order to pay off our debts, we've got to make sure our manufacturing, our agriculture, our mining, and our oil and gas sector are working. This is a government that is going on the attack on those very industries there, making it impossible for them to get off the mat. And as a result, the debts are endemic.
But where's all that money going? Now, I saw that Blackhawks came up and they said that we are still paying China something like $8 million a year. That poor country, China, coming out of Canada. But where are all those other billions of dollars going?
I don't think it's a lot of people doing oversight in terms of the where the money is actually going when they do. They're
shocked. Is this
government
poorly run?
It's poorly run, and I think a public that doesn't understand what's a billion here, what's a billion there. Well, think about it next time when you can't afford 6 or 7% interest rates. Think about it next time when the cost of food and other costs of living tends to take and undermine your ability to make ends meet. Think about it next time when your wage isn't going up, but the cost of everything is. And think about it next time when you see Canada's rank in the world, per capita GDP, dropping like a stone to the lowest among the lowest levels, not just now, but for the next 20 or 30 years out.
Oh, I think unfortunately you're right. Dan McTeague, 3 minutes. Thank you. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.